wonderful tumble where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons and critically fumble a lot when chasing small, plushy munchkin cats. uh, Previously, the gang had their day to themselves, which it's kind of a shame that that couldn't have happened, like, this session, given that we're missing somebody today. Yes, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, Antheus. I completely forgot, because first I lived in the country that does Thanksgiving in October, then I lived in the country that did Thanksgiving in November, and now I live in a country that does not do Thanksgiving, except for in the sense of around that time of year, a lot of places do Thanksgiving meals because monoculture. I hate your fucking country! I feel better now. um, they over dinner they'd been having a bit of a conversation with Clarity about how she might maybe not want to handle deals with Archfey like she might deals with demons, because Archfey probably would not take kindly to being treated like demons, and Clarity explained that she did need some boundaries in there, and they may have found a compromise. We don't know how Clarity's handling that, but the general sum up was, if it helps, chuck away the bits of paper, and if they fuck you up, we will fuck her up. With Alice in particular going, I'll behead an Archfey, I don't give a fuck. Because that's kind of what she does. And yeah, no, they then decide largely to change the subject, because there are some conversations that you probably don't want to have in a restaurant, even in some place like Belarys, because quite frankly, there are enough bard songs about y'all already. Adding to, and given, I mean, Alice is just going, and also given where some of the ballads and shit tend to take things, we don't want demon versus archfey fight, because that's misrepresentation on massive levels.
Yeah.
It'd be like calling me a solar, come on.
And the various fiends would take that as a challenge, particularly the abyssal kind.
Oh, by the way, Hazel didn't get a chance to mention this, but Ree and I were having a talk about, the tactical-ish bits and pieces, timekeeping mostly, for when we get to Egref. And we don't want to spend too long, because obviously there's a big blue dragon that we need to deal with. But we thought, given some of the stuff you were talking about, yeah, we always get into Egref around about dinner time, so quick turn around the shops for something appropriate to wear. Dinner probably at Harley's Surf and Turf, because Barnabas has got to see that place. And then maybe Basil Cell, that nightclub?
That would be amazing. I have reasons to examine the other one, but Basil Cell's probably safe.
We are not looking at we're not looking at the flaming floor. We're not doing it. We've got enough bullshit going on without having to deal with the fucking cult of Rakdos, whatever that is.
Thank you.
Just
pardon
it's
me.
apparently a club run by a cult of Rakdos that got authorization to run within the city.
That's a demon lord for where I'm from.
Yeah, but
Really?
again, demon lords. I mean, I'm sorry if this doesn't surprise me, but they have different rules for where they can cross over. And do you really want to try and talk to one of those yahoos about getting you home?
Oh God, absolutely not. They're under no circumstances whatsoever. No way. No.
Okay,
no.
okay. We get
Fair enough.
the picture. I'm just saying, because you didn't seem like the type who was that flexible insofar as what you are and are not willing to do to achieve your end goals.
The main problem other than being unspeakably evil and all that sort of stuff, is anything involving Rakdos or the cult of Rakdos will always, at the end of it, involve cleanup with a mop.
Yeah, I think the person that Hazel was talking to said something about that, but I think the rules for Egref are as long as it's consensual and nobody dies, it's fine.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Egref is
That-
funny that way.
Well, I can guarantee they're breaking the second part, but good luck proving it.
You do remember what their governor is, right?
Yes, I do recall, but they're maybe this is the well-behaved version of them.
It's
It's
entirely
possible.
possible that, or they're absolutely terrified because even those who don't know what the governor of that particular province is, the rumors say Archfey.
Hmm.
So either
can
way, they're probably not going to step too far out of line, particularly if their demon lord is in another plane.
Yeah, scared shitless does tend to work for that type of folk.
But yeah, Basil Cell, it's apparently very experimental. Run by academy students.
This is going to be fun. Possibly explosive, but fun.
What would a Minotaur wear clubbing?
That I've never been clubbing in my life.
None of us have, so we just know what people dress like in Egref. Mostly.
Best I've got's the dapper outfit.
Ree's getting leather
Which-
pants.
Hmm.
We're gonna wear the
leather
damn things!
Damn. Damn.
I wonder if you'll be able to move your eyes from said pants once they're on Remi.
Hmm.
Hazel.
Really?
Unlike some people, I can actually multitask.
That is a fair and valid point.
Is the look you're getting is are you really gonna fuck with me after this morning? Really?
This is just like absolutely mortified. Like the expression went from mouth got ahead of brain to nope. Just gonna agree with her 100% and never ever touch the subject again.
Smart
Hey,
girl.
Hazel. How's the boot?
Hmm.
Tastes like boot.
I swear
Descriptive.
the two of you really should start trying to see if anyone in Egref has a barbecue flavored boot polish.
Hmm.
In fact, I am probably going to ask someone about that just to see if it's an actual thing. And if it is an actual thing, I am buying barrels of it.
Get me at least a little bit. Because I'm curious.
So yeah, that's basically the plan for after like tea at the Crest Twins.
Okay. I did need to look for one more gift, but it can wait.
Well, we've got a whole day after the clubbing in Egref. Remember, magic solves a multitude of sins. Basically, we get there, and when we're not going to have a whole lot of shopping time in the evening, we go, we get some outfits. Clarity, you're gonna have fun with this, I promise. You just look a little bit bewildered, and you'll see. It has to be
A lot of
seen
this
to
is
be.
Going
Yeah.
over my head.
I know a lot of it has to be seen to be understood, or I'd explain it a little better.
No, totally. It's fine.
Let's let her have the surprise, Ava. We did.
No, I was just gonna say I'm not really experienced it either. I'm guessing it's not quite the sort of nobility of events and nobility I used to.
I doubt it, but I don't know. I've never been to a club either.
I have no idea what this is like. All I know is from references from the person I asked. That's it. And it sounds like it's fun.
But no, I doubt it's. I mean, it's Egref. We're talking. You remember some of the kinds of music we heard when we were in Egref. I don't think it's.
That store
Orchestra.
of many colors.
It didn't really sound like that.
Yeah, we have to take you to Fairy Fire, Clarity. I think you'll have a wonderful time there.
Right. Where you go, I follow.
Yeah.
I'm debating whether or not we should take her to Coeur d'Alene's.
Let's just do it.
Okay,
We're gonna miss the opportunity otherwise. Let's just do it.
That's true.
that's fair.
Going to do some sightseeing. That's exciting.
There's
I
not-
mean, you
not so
started
much
the rumor last time you were there. Let's see what happens this time in the flavors of shenaniganery.
Oh God, yeah, you started it there. Oh yeah, you definitely have to go to Coeur d'Alene's. I want to see the look on people's faces. Anyway, I'm assuming that while all this conversation has been happening, yeah, you guys have largely moved along, and Furseth is probably looking a little bit unsure about this whole clubbing thing, and it's like, maybe I'll sit it out. We'll see. But as they're heading back to the Bravo's Boast, Alisei sort of taps Ava on the shoulder and draws her back from the rest of the group. Okay, I know Myri is incredibly difficult to shop for, and I don't know if you've done anything already, but I know you, and I have a feeling that you're probably not going to think that whatever you did manage was enough, so I've set up a thing. Ree requires a belt, either dark blue or silver leather with silver embroidery, preferably knotwork sort of pattern. It is to go with an item of clothing. We didn't think to pick one up while we were out, and knowing her, she'll forget all about it until she opens it on Orlmas Day.
Okay, good to know. I had appealed to our parents for tips, but yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
You actually went.
I had no other clue. I was like, well, I can't get her a polish for her sword because that's kind of pointless.
Duh. Yeah, I can see that. No,
I was
it's
thinking something practical, but nothing I came up with was right. So I was like, oh, hang on.
yeah.
What better to ask?
That's fair, except the fact that let's
I mean,
face.
she's gonna kill me, I know. But
Well, let's face it. Her parents still think she's 5. Hence, asking the adults who have known her for a while.
Mhm.
So yeah, I may have arranged a thing so that somebody could get her a gift that would appeal. And I figured you haven't known her for as long as some of the others, and you are my Rika, so I figured you could use the help.
Thank you.
And
So the buckle was to be picked up, or
sorry, the what was to be picked up?
the buckle.
Well, I am assuming that anything that needs being picked up was, well, basically the belt that she is talking about is something fancy. And given that given the fact that you've been drawn away from not just Remi but everybody else, it's entirely possible that this is for an item that Remi wants to talk about even less than leather pants. So I'm going to roll the Hand of Fate. Yeah, the Hand of Fate is moderately fine with, but it's a little bit difficult to believe that. Wait a minute, did Alisei talk Remi into getting a dress? Nah. No. But nah. But you won't know for sure unless you ask.
Mm.
And
Anybody else have anything else they want to do with the rest of the evening? People to talk to, etc.
I'm going to try to borrow Barnabas.
Okay.
And just sort of anywhere that's aside and
Dare I ask what you want?
well, mostly I'm trying to figure out if you want anything resembling help figuring out the oral mist thing, because I don't think you've ever had one.
I've gathered it's a gift giving kind of holiday. Am I wrong on that or?
Ahem. Because you have been in this world for a couple of years, you are aware that Oralmus is a gift-giving holiday, but because you have been in the mercenary companies for every Oralmus that you have experienced, your gifting goes as far as a round at the bar.
Yeah, it's actually like shopping for people is a new one. Usually it's more like you pick up rounds at the bar or that sort of thing. But I think I got a handle on it, unless I'm missing something important.
Mostly, the only reason I offer help is just tuning gifts to people, I guess. I've gotten lucky with that a few times, and I figure I'd offer a little bit of help if I can. I also need a little help myself, because I made a pretty massive error within the last day or so regarding a diamond, and
Okay.
I need to pay LSA back.
That could mean so many things.
I don't know if I want to know what the heck you're talking about.
I just need to have more platinum on hand than I actually have, so
Barnabas is at least smart enough to be going, you have party funds. If I'm understanding this correctly, you took money from LSA to get something that is supposed to be of benefit to the party. Why did you not talk to the people with the party funds? Why are you not still talking to the people with the party funds? Because the party funds is not me.
Do I look like a bank to you?
and if there's the help I needed, pointing me in the correct direction.
Because if I do, I need to be told about that because I need to change something like yesterday.
Barnabas, you're fine. I just needed to talk to somebody who would, I guess, logic check my brain.
That's fair. That's fair.
This is the one with the highest wisdom in the party, by the way.
Yeah, high wisdom, but low hint as to where to apply it. Average at best. Sort of I think I should do something and sort of try and intuit what's going on, and then I picked the wrong moment.
High Wiz lets her know that she should do a thing. Low in to make sure second guess the thing and or do it at the wrong time.
So, yeah. And I'm just gonna hug him because that's just, I needed that. Course correction, essentially.
And now we have the all-time classic Minotaur awkwardly hugging someone who doesn't know why he's being hugged.
She's probably quite small compared to him as well.
Oh, very much so.
I am very short.
Yeah, I mean, Hazel's about maybe an inch or two shorter than I am, and Barnabas is around about Froseth's height. So he has at least a foot on her, yes. So just all of a sudden Hazel hug, whoomph, and awkward pat. Pat, I don't know why you're hugging me.
Basically, Hazel is face down in Barnabas's belly.
Right.
Which
One of those,
is
like,
armor.
Thunk.
Right, but it's more of like, if I question this, it might go on longer or happen more, or don't know what to do.
In all fairness, if you ask anyone, you will predominantly get it's Hazel. You're going to get it no matter what happens.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, and I get it after a moment of hugging and then thanking him and then like expressing once again profuse thanks by bowing, thank you, and just I'm gone.
Alrighty then.
I'm the Rocket Cleric. Welcome to Scatterbrain.
Hazel is Cat of the young, spazzy, and mine variety.
Yep.
Anyway, anyone else? Okay. Morning happens. We'll skip the preliminaries and go straight to morning happens. Breakfast is downstairs. It does come with your rooms at this point. It is still immensely crowded. It's actually a little more crowded than it has been, with more people who apparently just came out of whatever medical installation they've got over at the docks. Again, healing scars from talons and electrical burns, but they're keeping the scars apparently. But apparently these ones it's taken them a little while longer to get back. Just on the basis of how and where they were wrecked up. Not a lot being said, but it's that non-speaking loud of whole lots of people breathing and occasionally grumbling to themselves. And the occasional ow.
Just looking around trying to resist the urge to go zooming around helping.
Hazel, they've seen healing. They're just...
I know. That's why I'm keeping a lid on it as best I can. It's just really hard.
I know.
Thank you.
We've got shit to do, and let's not have you sort of flumped when we go to the Crestwinds for tea. If we have an exhausted cleric on our hands, you know what Corey's gonna think.
Yeah.
I think of these things. So, I mean, we've still got the morning stuff after tea, probably an early night, and then we're on the train to Egref for most of tomorrow. Are we going to be starting any more rumors? Ms. We seduced a lot of people to get to this point. I have heard this one.
I mean, if it comes up, I'm not planning on anything.
Well, if you ever want a couple of details about the profession to lend veracity.
I'll think about it.
Cool. Raises the coffee mug in a bit of a salute.
And thank you very much for your advice, all of you, last night. I've been thinking about it overnight, and an alternate approach might be preferable.
And speaking for myself anyway, I don't want to deter you from trying it. I just want it to work and for you not to offend anybody. Look, I know what it is to offend powerful beings, and I don't care about the ones I offended because I don't like them. You probably want them to like you. Or her, anyway. Probably her herald liking you wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Creepy little shit, but, it has its place.
Yeah. I think my idea had come from a place of not trusting anyone for a while, and so having to put my trust into some being that I'm not entirely sure will have my best interests at heart is a little scary.
If it helps, you're not trusting her, you're trusting us.
Well,
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps. I mean, I
It
could
does.
get why it might not help entirely, because trust is a hard thing. Unless you're me, and then you sort of fall into it head first, and then you realize it's actually happened without you noticing, and you just go, "What the fuck?" But
I'm
my
glancing at Remi and just sort of
Same.
mine is a special case. Okay.
Just glancing
Hey,
at me.
it's not just you. You think I call people, clan sister just out of nowhere. Except I did, but that just kind of happened anyway. And then there's Hazel, who, I mean, she's adorable, and I love her, but, it's one of those things where if you just took her at face value, you would not necessarily put your life in her hands. And I did, and it worked out great. That was a leap of faith. Okay, leaps of faith are probably cheap things to take when you have wings, but
that's fair.
It worked, and I'm glad it worked.
I wasn't just talking about that, incidentally. It's not just me, and points at Remi. You keep her alive, too. Gestures to Ava. And her. And him.
I'm more on about the fact that you fell into trusting us and all that. That's what I'm glad works.
Yeah, more words.
More words, yeah. Just trying to words, but then the words disappeared.
This is why I do a lot of their talking.
About a third of the time, the phrasing either completes completely silently in ear or just vanishes halfway through.
We do not want to use spell energy to read what's going on in your head. If I recall correctly,
Yep.
we could, because didn't I do that to you once? Or no, it was that Sigwald dude.
Something to that effect.
Oh.
Both. It was both. They both had different mental magic things, and one of them.
Nye was the one who kept
it was some kind of,
doing the
brain
chilling
reader.
you out thing, and Sigwald decided to use picking bits of information out of your brain.
Yeah, and got a face full of me plus coffee.
Serves him right.
I mean, at least
I definitely get what you mean about trust, Clarence. I mean, until I ran into you guys, I didn't think I'd ever trust anyone again.
And then we kind of slammed into town, slammed into you, and kept going. Pulled you along for the ride.
Something like that, I guess, yeah.
Mhm.
just
Doesn't seem like we go anywhere subtly.
No.
She just gestures around the table to the big silver dragonborn, the Minotaur, the blue-haired tiefling, the big green bow, the bright purple coat, And finally circling around to the hair and just, how could we possibly go anywhere subtly?
We put the B in subtle.
Yeah.
And at that, with that, Darwin gets up, walks over to Ava, assuming we're not sitting next to each other, and just kind of goes, hug. Not like glomp, but actually just just a nice hug for once.
Because Darwin isn't me.
That and
Even
we're
if people
eating. So.
breathe.
Well, that and we're eating, so, I don't want to get syrup on anything that shouldn't have syrup on it.
This is not so much a syrupy kind of breakfast. This is Merc breakfast. This is eggs, sausage, bacon,
Well,
biscuits.
sausage, grease, no.
They do have the slightly spicy tomato ketchup thing though for the eggs and the sausage. They know their audience. Lots of protein, lots of grease, occasional bits of kick. But mostly lots of protein, lots of grease. Trying to find fruit at this table is a problem.
If there's any half a moment to experiment with it, specifically the little bit of extremely spicy add-ons that Alice gave Hazel, that's gonna get added to an egg or sausage and down that and into the face it goes, and just sort of wait for it as my face just slowly starts turning colors.
Yeah, to be fair, because this is some of Alice's significant stash, of which not even Hazel has quite hit yet. Please make me a Constitution saving throw. For the first time in quite some time.
Yes.
See if your luck holds out.
Bip.
This is beyond what has been before, but you're riding it. You're gonna need milk. You're gonna need a lot of milk, but you don't want it yet because it tastes so good.
Yep.
And her face is turning some truly alarming colors.
I'm worried about the colors, but I'm also just watching the expression on the face, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be worried yet.
She pulled out the exercise. I gave her some of my more esoteric spice pack.
Just sort of quiet and vibrating from the sheer force of it all.
I'll be right back, and I'm going to go ask for a glass of milk. A large glass of milk.
I think you might want a jug at this point.
There is a pitcher and some glasses, mostly because you've got Orin at the food counter, just sort of going, "I know you people. When one tries, more than one will try."
I am not.
Anyone else want some?
I'm fine, thank you.
I've got my own. Thanks very much.
Yeah, just comes
You
back
know
with
what?
the milk.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh boy.
There's a sensible amount applied. Hazel is not going to overdo this. She knows how clear it is.
Okay, one thing at a time. Sorry, Ava.
Belarys, how are you with spices?
I'm usually pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the sheer this ain't nothing like nothing you've ever had. This would be con save with disadvantage. Hazel's used to this shit by now.
And this is a reasonable amount, and he's forced to make it a disadvantage. Think about how powerful this is.
This is the good stuff.
This is the good stuff. This is
Alice's good
Oh
stuff.
no.
Oh man, and that had been a good one too. Oh, 5. Wow.
You can tell in that split second before the pain starts that it will be wonderful when you get used to it. It will. There's just that second where you can taste the yum and the heat where it applies to the yum, and it is definitely an acquired taste as you discover when it feels like somebody doused your mouth and throat with napalm.
There's everyone watching can see the exact moment on his face when I have made a terrible mistake. His face doesn't change otherwise, but you can all just tell that he's really not happy and he's kicking himself.
Alisade grabs the pitcher from Darvin as he approaches, pours a glass for Hazel, and then just hands Barnabas the pitcher.
And Stoneface just grabs it.
Well, all right then.
It helps.
Boy, I'm glad I thought to grab that quick.
Are you okay?
Yeah, your mouth's gonna hurt for the next hour or so, but it was worth it, weirdly. And I think he's frozen. No, there we go.
No, he's not frozen. He's just trying to process how to speak.
That's fantastic, and I do not want any more.
You should have started with burn lichen, dude. You can't start with that shit.
Right.
I can barely feel
right.
my face right now, and it's.
I've been in the mercenaries a little too long. It becomes second nature to do this sort of stupid crap.
Mm.
Fair enough. But next time you start with the burn lichen, you work your way up.
Makes sense. Makes
Isn't
sense.
that already quite strong?
Yeah, but given that he asked for some of this stuff, I think he's probably okay with moderate. Not everybody has really chill palate. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, you and Furseth both, and Furseth's like, yeah. I seem to be the purveyor of the spicy food. Just tilts over at Clarity. Just, yeah. It seemed
Clarity.
None right now.
Start with the burn lichen.
Especially after that.
Start with the burn lichen, please. Start with the burn lichen. It does go really well on eggs. If you want to pitch.
Burn lichen?
It's difficult to describe. It's
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's a clean kind of a heat, but it's nothing like what Hazel's been sprinkling around on things.
I'll try some burn lichen.
She pulls out a pouch of effectively. It does just look and feel like flakes of crumbly red lichen. Just a pinch if you're not used to it.
Mhm.
And given that Clarity's had some spicy food, according to her background anyway, it's stronger than she's used to, because the spices in Baronsvere are not as extreme as some of the ones you will get on this side of the cliff face. It's hotter than she's used to, but damn, that's good.
Oh, that has a nice sort of smokiness to it. I like it.
It's how they, it's all in how they actually, store it, I guess, is the thing. It's kind of like teas where you kind of have to burn various bits. It's not just called burn lichen for what it does to your face.
You have to burn it to. Oh, that's interesting.
Otherwise, it just kind of goes mush.
You described the area as being like tundra full of snow, and that sort of
Yeah. There's
not on the borderland or anything, but like full on snow space.
Yeah, and there's enough damp to make, if you just sort of scrape it off a rock, it's gonna go mush.
Squidge. Wonder if anything eats it, like just off the rocks normally, like any kind of
Dire moose.
moose. Oh,
Of course.
Why am I
mega
not
moose.
dire moose, Ike's drakes, apparently the occasional yeti.
That
Oh.
the day we see that is going to be a day.
Oh, and dire penguins.
Dire penguins?
What?
They're probably not
What
as
now?
cute as they sound.
They're about the size of the average rock.
Can I see one sometime? Let's go see dire penguins sometime.
Oh boy.
You'd have to go to the coast. They are people eaters.
Because
That's
of
what I
course
meant.
they are.
Not as cute as they sound.
You have not lived until you have seen dire penguin versus dire moose.
That is a mental image.
And with that mental image, Jarvan just sort of just not really realizing, just starts tapping out the music from the fucking Gorn fight in Star Trek. Just imagining the dire penguin versus dire moose.
But yeah, we probably are going to have to go up north, and if we want more access to the Silver Vault than just the Antechamber of Stars, we're probably going to have to do things that might involve us encountering a dire penguin. So maybe you can see one as it's trying to eat your face and your
That is
whole
a big
everything.
bird.
I mean, most things want to eat our faces, to be fair. So it's all right. Right? It's right.
Yeah, as long as you don't mind killing the thing you seem to determine is going to be cute.
Brandon is a dire wolf and he's fine.
Yeah, but that's a dire wolf. Wolves, dire or otherwise, can technically be tamed. So can moose, although dire moose are a little trickier. But you encounter dire wolves in the wild. Wasn't there something about red-headed chief gnome, daggers in eyes? Mira, way back when you were
Oh,
back in
Very
the sewers
sneaky.
of.
Mira. One
Yeah.
second she's there, the next second the thing is.
But dire wolf not so friendly in that case, although probably friendly to the thugs you guys were fighting at the time. But feral dire wolves.
all right. I won't have a dire penguin pet.
I don't think we have space for them. And
I'll
you could not
find a
I-
way.
you could not provide a dire penguin with suitable enrichment.
I'm not being serious.
I know, but I want to see how far you take it. Is the thing. It's an amusing thought exercise. If I start talking about dire penguin enrichment, you start thinking about how a dire penguin would play.
I will see one in action and then I will make an assessment.
There you go.
And I'm just staring into the middle distance now, going, "That is a big bird."
Also, an incredibly tasty bird.
At which
And
point now
clearly the
Darwin is
image-
staring off into space, just going,
The mental image has clearly shifted for most of the folk having mental images at this point, because now it's like a turducken on roids.
That's basically it. I'm like, if it's that big, I wonder what you could cram in it.
Lots and lots of ptarmigans.
Phrasing, Darwin.
Although I did hear about one of my clanmates. He got kind of stranded out in the wastes and managed to off himself a dire penguin, but a snowstorm was turning up, and because he was on the coast, there wasn't a whole lot of wood for a fire. So, rather than sit and freeze out in the snow, because he wasn't one of the ones like some of us that trained to be resistant to cold. So he was going to freeze to death if that kept up. So he kind of cut the dire penguin open and snuggled up in the still warm dire penguin.
I mean, I get the logic.
I bet that smelled. He thought it smelled better on the. It smelled bad on the outside, and then.
Yeah. But you do what you must to survive is a thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
True.
Anyway, do we have any further errands we want to do before tea time at the Crest Winds?
Do you think we should try and look for? I was really thinking of getting something for the half-home plan, but I was thinking we should all do that together, or.
Well, it's either that or we all get little things. Honestly, I was thinking of getting some of the really interesting sweeties you can apparently get over in Egref. For everyone except for Faraday, because what we heard was there was the toy store over in Egref is apparently called Puzzled, and it's all about logic puzzles. And...
Oh, she'll love that.
I did get Jaloy a little something already. I got her a very, very tiny little stove with a full set of cookware, which is surprisingly intricate for as tiny as it is.
Aww.
It's really amazing.
Does it actually function?
From what I understand, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I said. So yeah.
I remember you guys going on about pixie-sized pancakes, so now she can make her own.
Yeah. That's the idea. I didn't know if she was interested in cooking, but I figured, well, now she's got the stuff she would need to give it a shot. So hey.
She will learn the art of cake pads.
And a couple of us have actually already picked up something for Corey and Amel, because we're not going to be around here for actual Oralmas Day, so we get the gift ahead of time.
What is everyone doing for the morning?
Honestly, no clue. Actually, no, to be fair, I think I do know what I'm going to do with my morning. And see if I can nudge myself some quick space in the Book, Bow, and Dragon roster.
Ooh.
You guys don't have to come.
I think I will be busy.
Okay.
Library.
People are. No, actually, I'm going to the town square where there's going to be lots of people.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone want to join? You might have to hide a little.
Yeah.
What are you doing,
I'm coming
Dragon?
with.
I'm
I'm coming with.
I am trusting you guys to tell me how all of this goes, but like I say, I'm heading Book, Bow, and Dragonward. I have some personal funds to replenish. Excuse me, and out she goes without another word.
Remi follows.
I'm going to.
You don't have to come. You're just gonna.
I don't have to, but I want to.
Okay, but you're just gonna sit in a corner with an ale, blushing yourself to death.
That sounds
I want to
fine.
insight clarity. Wow.
I half
And I
expected.
just came to half a second after I spoke for my end, and oh god. No,
I half expected a what a way to go. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Any
Well,
idea
this
what
is-
you're going to do, Barnabas?
I do have some shopping I still want to do real quick, but I got a good idea where everything is.
That's good.
Oddly enough, I'm probably going to take a page out of Clarity's book and spend a little time in the library.
Okay. I think I'm going to stick with
And
you
from-
two
from-
because
Actually, no, to be fair, even Flitty is out because it's in Alice's Flitty bag. But out of character, I'm just gonna say, if nobody hits him for that fucking pun, I'm having something fall out of the rafters.
Oh, bloody hell! Out of character, I completely didn't even miss. I missed it entirely. Completely unintentional.
But still, it was awful. It was
Sorry.
truly horrible.
I am just going to produce the basket of infinite bread. Pull out a breadstick or
Well, it's a
long loaf.
loaf. You're just
What?
there were
walk over and just
the dumb part is there were bread loaves. There were bread rolls on the table.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say.
went through all that extra effort just to smack
No,
me with something.
This was because this is from Mama Mama, and Mama would have words to say about the pun as well,
Okay.
indirectly from them.
Oh, hell, I didn't even. The best ones are unintentional. Hey,
Okay.
And
Oh,
after the
hell, I'm gonna
pop
write that one down.
use the loaf to absorb the rest of the food.
Yeah, so basically Hazel just yum 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 yum. Face turns colors again when she finishes up Barnabas's overspiced eggs.
I'm also, if I have a moment, insight checking clarity because I want to know if it's going to be any initial attempts at talking to the Fae.
If you want an insight check, if you want a deception check, y'all
I'm
go
not hiding
for it. In which case, do not bother with making a deception check, but insight could fail her. Insight does not fail her.
Can I give it a go? Because
19.
Ava was like, what is she up to?
By all means, you want to roll insight, you roll insight.
20.
So yeah, they
Clarity is up to mischief.
I had a feeling.
And as Alice is leaving, can I also insight check her to figure out if she's cottoned on to me having processed my mistake?
honestly, I'm not even gonna ask for that. No. She's just leaving Hazel to work things out in her own time, and if it would appear that if Hazel had forgotten all about it, then Alice would just carry on and deal with things as necessary because she be like that. A thing happens and she does not assume that someone is going to come and correct that. Apparently, even being brought back from the dead has not cottoned her on yet to the fact that y'all are going to try to fix things that y'all may have had a hand in messing up. Darvin, technically you're not that well, okay. From an out of character perspective, I'll explain it. And there are things you might have cottoned on to because you do have Hazel going when Alice mentioned personal supply stores. It's quite possible you'd have cottoned on to this. Basically, Hazel used Alice's funds as an adjunct to party funds when that's like, Alice is still living out of a haversack and a borrowed room at Hearthhome, so of course, given
Kind of followed
given
one.
given
Yeah,
Froseth's passive perception and insight in general, you just get that dragonborn head tilting towards Hazel and going, "What did you do?"
yeah, no, I did catch that.
I want to have that discussion a little bit before I follow clarity, okay? This is
If it's before you
critical
follow,
error.
if it's before you follow clarity, wouldn't that be now?
Yeah, but like in private.
Can your errand wait for a few minutes before she explodes?
Vibrating.
Yeah, turning to clarity. Can your can
I'm not in a hurry.
come on, Hazel?
I'm just gonna walk off squeaking. I've poked Antheus about this as well, so
He didn't talk to me about any of this, so what did
yeah,
he say?
I didn't get it. I only just got the chance to mention it today because he blipped up on the
Yeah.
chat, and that reminded me. So I just mostly just talking about registering that mistake and wanting to pay Alice back because that was an error on Hazel's part. And
Okay.
it being more of a party funds thing in the first place anyway.
Yeah. Unfortunately, his notes on what party funds can bear are not on his character sheet.
Yep. So that's just something that will be discussed as a sort of, we can go over this again
Yeah,
once
but what he will say, because I do need him here for that discussion, is just a big dragonborn hand. We'll sort it out as a group. You are going to have to tell the others about this because
yeah,
party funds will not bear that. Particularly not on top of everything else we're going to have to pay for.
yeah.
And you're going to have to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Because mostly you've just been squeaking.
Yeah. I had to go through several layers of course correction to get to here and the how of fixing the mistake. So I registered the mistake faster than usual. I just still am having a bit of a hard time figuring out how to apologize without mouth getting ahead of my head and making it worse.
Maybe for once, I'm surprised I'm saying this, but follow Darvin's statements. Begin at the beginning, and when you get to the end, stop. Just tell her you're sorry for using her as an adjunct to the party funds bank for, by taking money she got by murdering a red dragon on her own and getting killed.
Yeah.
Also mouthing off to, because that's the thing. She was really proud of that, mouthing off to Kreia Bendis. And that was the money she got from Kreia Bendis, isn't it?
Whir, click, whir, clunk. And then there's probably a vague metaphysical snapping noise as the gears just completely lose alignment and whir back into a new setting.
Go watch Clarity make mischief. We'll sort this out later.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna, still with a mortified expression, totter on out to just stand near Clarity as I try to reboot.
And Broseth's just going to... Basically, is just going to meditate on what's upcoming. See if the elements have got anything in particular to say to him at this time. And also because I did have time to myself, sort of, but it involved a lot more needles than most alone time would have been, so... So okay, Darvin, we'll start with you because yours is probably going to be relatively short. Library, well, I mean, the first thing you walk in is just sort of a, you don't have a library card.
No. How do I go about getting one? And how do I go about getting one?
This is the same individual who Clarity first spoke to. You were there when your friend got one. You have to have an address here. You have to actually live here.
Oh, right.
You have the memory capacity of a flump.
Oh, Jesus, I know what those are.
Okay, never mind then.
If you want a book, ask your friend.
and just leaves.
Don't fuck with the librarians. Just don't fuck with the librarians. I mean, really? You didn't think to even ask me if you could make some kind of check? Because if you told me that was what you intended to do, I could have reminded you. But you're happy to be comic relief? Okay.
Out of character, pat.
Okay, we'll probably...
He made the mistake, he's gonna own it, so there.
Yeah, but the thing is, you didn't have to have, because your int score's not that bad. Okay, Darvin's int score's not that bad.
I was about to say.
Oh God.
I've got the memory of a goldfish half the time.
Flump. Flump.
Yeah. I either remember
Look-
things
look
really
one-
well or not at all.
Look one up sometime.
Okay.
It was the best metaphor I could come up with. Yeah. We'll probably break a little early because I have a feeling that whatever Clarity's going to get up to is going to take longer than 10 minutes to appropriately get into. And I want to give you appropriate time to be creative. I'm looking forward to this, as you can probably tell. The rest of Market, probably not so much. So, yeah, just to very briefly, Alice A. Nat 20s on talking people into letting her take the stage for the morning. Because probably what happened was they walked in and people ceded the place because they've been hearing the stories so far. And, you know, now they're getting it from the source. So, yeah, Remi gets to watch for the best part of the morning as Alice does her not quite song and dance routine involving some of the shit they've got up to. There was a particular bit of hilarity about some of Darvin's bunny barge shenanigans that very much brought the house down. Anyone passing by the book Bow and Dragon towards the later part of the morning will hear hysterical freaking laughter. But she does come away with a significant bolstering of recently depleted funds. So, and yeah, Remi is pretty damn well represented, and Remi knows Alice well enough to know that, you know, yes, this is I am damn proud of my girlfriend, but she also knows that this is going to filter back to Corey and Emil, and they are going to know that their precious baby daughter could take care of herself.
Remi is watching very contently.
Yes, but still probably occasionally blushing herself into near apoplexy because that's there is a significant focus on her and so yeah, and Barnabas who was he going with?
I was planning on going by myself unless someone wanted to go with.
Okay, no, I mean,
honestly, I can do the best completely off camera. It doesn't even need to be on.
Well, just give me a quick overview so we can get to sort of, you know, closer to actual break time than the 10 minutes in. Just any specifics you can do off screen, but everyone else got to spoil their Oromus gifts for you. Why not the other way around?
All right. Well, so he's going to be looking for a whole bunch of stuff. He's still actually he's kicking himself. He should have grabbed Remi before she went off.
He could technically do that. Let's let that happen before break time. As you know, Remi knows where Alice is going, and while Barnabas might get that look, which Barnabas has never had that look from Remi before, but he knows that look, and normally it's back away or lose a hand, but apparently she's letting you get away with it.
real quick, I need some help. And what on earth should I be getting for Alice for on this? I have no clue. None. Absolutely none.
Remi, for very, very simply, given that there have been a few mentions made that Alice is basically living out of the contents of her pack sack, and those were pretty denuded to start with. Clothes, she likes red.
Well, considering she's been so much on the move of late, she doesn't really have much other than what she's carrying. She could probably use some more, plain clothes, something red.
Oh, okay. I mean, you shopping for one of you anything like shopping for me, which is just a pain, might I add. Not too many places make something gestures to himself. Okay. Well, that at least gives me somewhere to look. I appreciate it.
And then off Remi goes. It's like, are you done? Yes, good, great, bye. So, okay, with that in mind.
Okay. Well, the other stuff that he's looking for, he realized that Darvin doesn't have a case for his instrument. He's gonna look for that. What else was it? See what's in, like, check out like a bookstore, see if there's anything interesting there.
I mean, case for Darvin's fuel is fairly easy. You can get, depending on how much he wants to spend, he can get a pretty high quality hard boiled leather case for 2 gold.
Sure, perfect.
Bookstores, there are a fair few. If I recall correctly, that was you looking at the life and feeding habits of some of the cuter denizens of this
Yes.
our weird and wacky world. There are a few. There is one entirely on the it's a small treatise on the favorite snacks, baubles, and miniature hordes of fairy dragons.
I think that'd be perfect. How much is that?
That one, I mean, it's quite small book. The only thing that's really padding it out is recipes for some of the snacky things. So that one, you're looking at 6 silver.
Gotcha. What else was I looking for? I think the rest of it he would actually look for. He would take a look for clothes for Alice, and I think the rest of it he'll wait till he gets the egg graph.
Yeah. At the same time, he's sort of going, okay, yeah, all of this is plain and stuff, and plain is good, but also she's a bard, and it's kind of flashy and fancy, and Egref seems to do flashy and fancy.
Yeah.
So I can wait there too.
Let's wait for Egref for that.
That's cool. Okay. So, yeah, and that brings us closer to break time. And to be fair, that kind of wandering around and rifling through bookstore and all the rest of it, and looking at the various kinds of leather cases will take the morning. Although again, you do cruise past the Book, Bow and Dragon in enough time to hear the hysterical laughter and the hammering of mugs on tables. So something's good going on in there. But
nice.
But beyond that, we will take our 5-minute break now, and when we come back, we will marvel at Belarys Mischief. were back, about to witness Clarity making some mischief in the market. Melareth's market mischief.
Before we sort of really get into the too deep, I was like, do you need to be really sneaky, and do you mean to do so?
I mean, not super sneaky, just, attracting attention wouldn't be the greatest thing, but it's not going to ruin it, I don't think.
Is your plan well, I'm assuming not, but just to be safe, is there any chance anybody will get hurt?
No. My mischief is not the hurting kind of mischief.
I thought not. Do you want me to use my ability to cloak you?
Given how intelligent Clarity is, she'd have to be in pretty close proximity to you to.
Oh no, yes, because there's range.
Yep, and it's centered on you.
All right.
I'm
So
fine.
it wouldn't necessarily be useful in this case.
Probably not. You don't have to do anything. You can just watch, or people watch.
All right.
And does Hazel have anything? Because I know she went with.
Just kind of watching this and listening and just going to keep my eyes peeled until if something starts going screwball, at which point I will try and help.
Oh god. Okay.
I don't know how. I will make that decision when things start going screwball, if they do.
I don't know how long the go to the library and back would take, but
We'll
gonna
deal with any of that, because remember, not only are you potentially coming back to the market, Barnabas is shopping there.
Oh god, yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Andy Saxon, 5, 4, 3.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Clarity.
Oh, boy.
So, Clarity is going to look for a, sort of shadowed corner to hide in, but close enough to the action that's going on with all of the people and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tricky to find a shadowed corner in an open air market. There's shadowed alleyways, down side streets and such like, but that's not necessarily overly close to market stalls, but you're still within sort of a 60-foot range of something.
Or I could do like that thing where you like pretend to read a book and you're leaning up against a wall, just sort of. But in either case, I'm sort of hiding, but I will be popping out 3 of my fuzzy objects.
Okay, well, first of all, make me given that it's pulling things out of the bag of tricks, can you please give me a sleight of hand check?
Yeah. 23.
No, stop. Oh, for pity's sake. That's a 5, a 7, and Norman. It was
Naturally,
two. It was
okay.
2 7s, and I rolled it again, and I got a 3.
It always pops up.
Yes, the badger.
Oh my god.
Norman.
Hold on.
It's Norman.
I forgot to open up my notes for which one's which. Hang on a second. But also I'm going to be casting Silent Image also, but in a second. So it's going to be the Panther Ernesto, Direwolf Brandon.
So it's the entire pack from when you ran out on your own and ran out under the confusion spell and ended up on your own in the okay.
And Brandon's not gonna get,
It's Old Home Week.
Brandon's
Yeah.
gonna get all the arrows in him this time that he did last time he was out. That boy felt so bad. Or no, I don't know if it was,
Brandon
I don't remember if it was
hasn't
arrows or not.
seen Brandon hasn't seen action in a while. But yeah, Ernesto, Norman, and Brandon. So I'm going to instruct my fuzzy friends to just sort of dance around people in the square. And then I'm going to cast Silent Image and have like little puppies it's a 15-foot like cube. Puppies and kittens just sort of running around, especially around people who looks kind of sad. And then just pepper that with like thaumaturgy of little yips and stuff like that. And then if I see anybody mean or like nasty who's like doing something that's like, just acting like an asshole or something, I'm going to have those puppies turn into geese and like honk at them and flap their wings.
It's a beautiful morning in Belarys, and you are a horrible goose.
Oh no!
It's like kind of Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Oh yeah.
And given, oh no,
Uh-oh.
because Darvin is probably looking a little bit grumpy when he comes out from the library and probably kind of bumps into somebody and just without technically apologizing, and all of a sudden, geese.
They're just flapping up to him and going,
Wait a minute. And I'm just looking around.
Give me stealth check. Also, Barnabas, there is a
Yes?
badger dancing around your hooves.
Is this at
I
advantage?
seem to have frozen. Pardon me. Oh, there we go.
Yes, there is a badger dancing around your hooves.
Not gonna think about it. So it's gonna continue on.
And it follows you around.
28.
Either way, yeah, no, you have no idea. There's just geese.
Didn't even need my spell.
No. Nope. I'm backing away.
And they follow. Honk, 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 honk.
Does that mean it makes the sounds?
Thaumaturgy.
Ah, sorry.
You know what? Fine. I'm going to pull out my flute. I'm going to turn around to one of them and just start blowing the flute, trying to make a goose noise. As much of a goose noise as I can with the flute. Just bam, 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 back at him.
So all of a sudden there is this goose chorus. It's
We're
like
going back and forth, two-part harmony.
it's like goose battle rap.
Basically.
Oh no.
And Barnabas does hear this and finds Darvin in the middle of flock of geese honking at them on his flute.
And at the same time, like, I started grumpy, but about halfway through, the absurdity hit me, and now I'm trying to blow the flute and keep myself from losing it, laughing my ass off at the same time, because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Because all of the laughing actually makes the flute sound more like a goose honking.
Exactly.
And this is what Barnabas
loving it.
turns up. But
Are you okay?
Join in.
Across the market, he sees a dire wolf on its hind legs, just going like this, like trying to do the Snoopy dance.
I'm assuming Ava and Hazel see this.
yeah, but you guys actually know where it's coming from.
It is like not sure whether she thinks that's brilliant or
Look, Darwin's having a grand time, so hey. I realized they weren't attacking me, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it.
And Norman is still dancing around part of his hooves.
At which point I'm like, I'd probably recognize Norman by this point. I'm like, trying to say Norman through the flute. I'm like, oh my god, Norman! Ah, I missed you. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I know what's going on. Well, fuck it, let me keep playing. Are you gonna lose and needs musical accompaniment? Fuck it.
Ernesto, meanwhile, is doing that cat thing where, you know when they're not in knocking things over mode, but they're stepping lightly between all the stuff on a counter or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's Ernesto through the tops of the market stalls, and occasionally sort of butting passersby and market stall holders and yeah, Brandon somewhere over there attempting the Snoopy dance.
And no one's sort of like worried about the big direwolf and the panther in the middle of it.
To be fair, Ava doesn't know this, but Hazel does. This is a place full of mercs. Some of them have rangers. Some of them have Beastmaster rangers.
Fair enough.
There's probably at least one gnome with a pteranodon that he's flying around on.
That's more aggressive, but anyway. Yeah, no, somewhere in the middle of all this, guards do turn up.
Oh no. I push Hazel to out of sight, come on. Let's get out of the way.
I'm like, what do I need to roll to tell whether or not I see the. I'm like, oh.
Presumably, we don't see clarity anymore. Invisible.
I'm not really moving. I'm just watching in bafflement at this whole affair.
I'm pushing you.
So while this is okay, Kai, fine contested strength check from you too.
God.
Yeah, I don't want to move. I have to see this play out.
Oh.
20 for that.
22.
Balls.
Hazel's going anywhere.
Can I use my what's it called? Human resilience that gives me advantage?
You can, but you're not beating a nat 20.
Unless you roll a 20, maybe, but.
Even then, Ty goes to defender.
Oh, that's right! Bugger!
Okay, Darvin, actually, to be fair, just make me a perception check to see if you notice the guards turning up.
Right. That's what my thought was. Okay, so perception.
But seeing that she's not moving, I'm just get out of sight myself. I'm just keep an eye on but not be too.
All things considered, you're more paying attention to the geese and trying to figure out if you can spot clarity, so you don't really notice the guards until they turn up. Looking at Ava, who's just trying to scamper out of sight. Hazel, who's watching the whole thing with, and Darvin, who is actively engaging with the horrible geese. And to Ava, hold it right there.
And I'm just.
I didn't make a stealth check though.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not having them make any kind of perception check for you. You just said I'm going.
I said I was sort of
sidling out, but you didn't say you were stealthing. I'm sorry, you did not do that thing. So it really is just hold it right there.
Alright,
I'm frozen in place at this point.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
Deception check.
I think geese. I'm not sure why geese, but apparently geese.
Deception
I'm just
check
looking
from
around
Hazel.
continually baffled.
Deception. Here we are. 17?
18.
What is going on here? They clearly do not believe you.
I'm just still like looking around, thoroughly baffled by the concept of geese.
I'm gonna turn the geese back into puppies, and the puppies are going to look up at the guards with big old puppy eyes, going.
Oh,
Oh. Okay.
Sleight of hand check.
Don't need that anymore.
Okay. Okay, where is? Oh, hold on. Still got it. Switch on. 15.
Excuse me, miss! And they're looking right at you.
no.
Yes, sirs.
Why?
Why not?
Because the market would like to operate without disruption? You
That's
might
fair.
you might want to try Egref. There are actually sanctioned mischief areas.
Oh. But is it really mischief if it's sanctioned?
Yes, because only very specific mischief makers know about them.
Oh.
Egref is very
good to know.
strange. They have, for the right people, there are mischief licenses.
Okay.
But you have to have very high quality mischief to earn a mischief license.
Who determines the quality of the mischief?
The governor, apparently.
I will have to apply for mischief.
In the meantime, you don't seem to have caused any damage, so we'll let you off with a warning this time. Tell your
People are smiling. Look.
There's a couple of really annoyed, to be fair, there's now a couple of really annoyed looking stall keepers who are trying to look at their people past a panther, and they just point.
I meant to send the puppies their way, to be fair.
Just accept that, A, we are letting you off with a warning. B, tell those two, points at Ava and Hazel, to get better poker faces.
Will do.
If
Thank
they're
you,
going to
officers.
accompany you on your mischief again, please remove the wildlife.
Come on, guys. Dance is over.
And from Norman, Ernesto, and Brandon just ample. And the puppies.
Poof. No more puppies.
Thank you. Sir, if you're going to play the flute, play the flute. You are not a horrible goose.
Sometimes he's a bunny.
Apparently that curse got broken. Or made permanent, depending on whether you think he originally started as a rabbit or as a man. Given the brain power on display, I'm minded to think rabbit.
I'm not really sure anymore.
Definitely
True polymorph
rabbit.
is a thing.
In any case, yes, don't let this happen again. We'll have to fine you if this happens again.
Understood.
Okay. Thank you.
And off they go.
Shepherding them.
Darvin walks over to Clarity, just going, I don't know what they're talking about. I thought you were already fine. But anyway.
I think there's something to be said about time and place, perhaps.
Apparently there's time and places in Egrif. Or-
Himself.
Literally, apparently.
It's no fun if you don't have a little bit of threat of getting in trouble.
There's getting in trouble and there's getting in trouble. But I get it.
I know.
And to be fair,
Why
Darvin
geese?
Darvin knows enough about Egrev to know that Calatiel would have thought of that, and probably has rules within rules, and won't tell you exactly what the rules are, so that you could still theoretically be breaking rules, and they probably change from day to day, knowing that weird little, not so little. Anyway. You're muted.
I'll try to explain a little of that at the same time. I don't fully get it, but I kind of get it. So it's a little lost in translation. But as I said, there's rules, and then there's rules, and you know what some of them are, but not all of them. So you kind of could be breaking them, but you don't know. It's weird, but it's fun. But it's weird, but it's fun. It's sort of aggravating. Weird, but fun.
And you still got Hazel staring off into the middle distance and then blinking and why geese?
So I'm confused.
She's apparently asking.
You know, I mean, if somebody's being mean and stuff, then they deserve geese and not puppies, right?
Why not a goat?
I didn't think of a goat.
Wait,
Maybe
so-
next time there'll be goats.
What's up? What have you got against geese? I mean, I know they're not the friendliest
Oh,
animals,
man.
but
And,
Can confirm, goats are as bad.
and to
I'm
be
chased by one.
and to be fair, Hazel and Clarity are both looking at Ava at this point, going, you know, they're not the most pleasant, but what's wrong with geese? And it's very clear that she is a noblewoman who has never met a goose.
I mean, it's probably true.
Ava, geese shit everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere.
All right, I got you the first time.
No, you don't understand the magnitude of everywhere.
And of course, there is the fact that they are the orneriest little buggers in all creation and will chase you for a very long time.
Oh, I
Clarity was smart enough to think of the trick of if you want to stop geese from chasing you, run down a hill. Because their webbed feet land on top of each other while they're running down the hill, and then you get this
tumbled.
avalanche of geese.
The avian lanch.
Oh my god.
Depending on the type of goose, they're also really, really angry. Okay, have you ever seen a swan?
Probably, I assume I have.
You have seen them, but you have never seen them up close in the wild. You have seen them from a distance in, you know, your holdings pond.
Mm.
They are the only thing that can beat up a goose. Everything else just makes the goose angrier.
It's a goose.
And more determined.
Well, now I feel kind of bad because I'm guessing the only reason they came up to me was I must have done something to somebody and didn't realize it. Yeesh. Oops.
I mean, I control them. You looked kind of grumpy.
And he did smack into somebody with arms full of parcels and gave them a glare like, watch where you're going, despite the fact that it was him who wasn't watching where he was going, so he kind of deserved geese. Besides, to be fair, Clarity knows Darvin, and if anyone was going to react in a particularly amusing way to geese, it was going to be him.
That's true.
Okay, well, fair. Well, I can't really do anything about it, so, but yikes. Anyway,
That was good honking.
thank you.
Ava, you will be introduced to geese. At some point.
Technically, she already was.
No.
The geese
These
were
are-
fairly far away from Ava.
These were
my bad.
magic geese. She was not right up on them.
Well, you've seen them. You probably don't want to be right up on them. So
Is Barnabas saying anything to this? Because now he's figuring out why there was a badger and geese and puppies.
Not a
Panther.
thing. Not a thing.
Is he with us at this point, or is he?
Yeah, well, he kind of gravitated over when Badger happened.
No, he's just gonna be like, he's not explaining anything. He doesn't want to be part of this conversation. People, you are strange, and it's fine. And if I think about it too hard, my head's gonna explode. So we're just gonna not.
I'm just looking up at
Right,
Barnabas
wrong,
with
or
big eyes. Just hi.
Don't ask Barnabas.
Is this
It's okay. I still like you.
normal for you people?
I mean,
In our
I haven't done this
downtime, when we have
before.
time to goof around and cause a little harmless mayhem, yes.
It is become the normal. I don't know exactly how, but I figure that's just adventurer stuff.
I don't know about that. I didn't have quite such mischief within my other adventuring groups within the Brass Arrow.
To be fair, you were with them for like a week and a half, so
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm just saying that these guys know you couldn't have been with them for long.
hmm.
Again, you haven't been with this.
You were with them for a week.
So he's
And
been
then
with
you
us
were
for a
with
week.
Look at what happened in a week with us!
And given the amount of time of various bits of setup, etc., this has taken because this has been a while of mayhem. The door to the book Bow and Dragon opens up. You got Alice kind of coming out and going. So there was honking.
There were geese.
I decided not to ask why there was honking outside.
Pointing to Clarity.
The main reason that I'm, the only thing I'm gonna say is, it came close to putting me off my stride. So if you're gonna apparate geese maybe away from someplace the performance is happening,
Sorry.
that's okay. Did you have fun?
I did.
Oh, they did.
Cool. Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out why
The
not
guards
go.
weren't so impressed, though.
Geese are smaller and flailier. It's like lots of little ewes.
Goats don't flap.
Wait,
Like I
that's
say, flailier.
that's a lot. Maybe we should try with lots of little hazels next time.
Oh, God.
God.
Okay, I really don't want to know.
No.
It's like
Can we not?
it's like if Hazel turned her spirit guardians into lots of little hers.
Now I'm just looking at the look on Hazel's face to see what she thinks of that.
Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. Show them a lot of knees.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god, you're actually wow. Okay.
Thanks.
Flying hazels. Fairy
Yeah,
dragon-sized
cheeky
flying hazels.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like the full-on super
They just face palming
looking
at
hazel.
this point.
Have
It's a hazel NATO.
have you ever actually? I don't think I've ever actually said anything I've regretted quite as much as I did that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just surrounded in a tornado of me.
A haze of hazels. We're probably not going to be able to get anything for lunch with this.
I'm going to let that drop.
Thank you.
Oh god, they've started talking in unison now too.
They're so adorable.
Shush you. So I take it everybody had a reasonable morning?
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess.
It was very productive.
It was interesting anyway.
I dread to ask what you produced, but I think I can guess. And oh, hey, look, Direwolf, Panther, Norman. These ones have names too, right?
Ernesto. Yes, Ernesto and Brandon.
Hey guys. A slightly bewildered look of why is she taking us so calmly? Nobody else is taking us so calmly.
Yeah, actually, technically, Darvin didn't either. He was just really excited to see them. So that wasn't exactly calm either, come to think of it.
Yeah. And to be fair, that this is more of a first-person reaction because Barnabas' first reaction to them was, "What?" And Alisaie's just treating them like people. It's like, "Hey guys."
They were dancing earlier.
So was I. Good job, guys. Looking up at Clarity again, like, what do I do with this? Okay. Yeah, well, unless anybody wants some conversation to happen, because any attention you may have got from that is probably not going to come at you during the day, at least not in public forums. We can
just off to the side when we're walking, and I'm, trailing behind the group. I'll just sort of look around and then say, "Were you watching? An offering, good faith. We can talk later."
There's a general sense of nod. Just nod. Just, yeah, we were watching. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, we'll talk later. And also a certain amount of, let's see what else happens today, because, to be fair, sometimes the best mischief is inadvertent, and they know where you're heading next. After glossing over lunch, which is probably going to be kept fairly light, because, as Remi will be able to tell everybody, my parents are going to feed us a lot.
I am ready for this.
For a long time,
I am
Ava's
ready.
like, God, there's going to be a bad ballad about this, isn't there?
Ava, there already is.
That's what I mean.
Ballad, dance routine, probably lots and lots of other ballads from other sources, because, open market. And with that kind of conversation, it's on back to Crestwinds, which has got a sign that basically indicates that it is going to be closed for the next few hours for by appointment. And there is so much hugging, from Amel to Remi, world's most awkward hug. Again, Corey, tight hugs for Remi and for Alice, and almost, careless affection hugs for the rest of y'all.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, you all. I trust you had a good day, evening, the rest of it.
Yep.
Corey is looking at Remi, and Amel is going, Corey. So, the Julas children came by this morning.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, Ava's like, oh boy.
And Alice was in the middle of face popping, then turns around to Ava and just said, "Why are you oh shit."
Remember I mentioned there'd be a rumor?
Very vaguely, but it's not like you went into Darvin, you too! Oh,
I mean, Darwin. Well,
I
also
process that this is going to
covering
lead
her
you.
hand.
yeah, and of course this is Mother's sight, and she is noticing the ring. She's also noticing what hand it's not on, but still glances at Alice's hand and just sort of going, Corey? No. If you'd like to go up to the roof, we've set up tea. I'll get Corey to settle down a little bit.
Can I insight check as to whether or not I've figured out the rumors that would have started from this?
By all means.
$11.
Yeah, no, you got nothing. That could be just about anything.
Just gonna proceed as instructed. Yeah.
Shoo, and he shoos Darvin laughs and does sort of as he's shooing, one hand is on the small of the back, moving him forward. The other hand box. Remember you ordered the. Yeah, so yeah, it's just what. Oh, right. Let's stuff it into his bag. And yeah, up on their roof setup is. I mean, this is proper afternoon tea. Little sandwiches, so many little cakes. Great deal of tea. Of varying types, probably. Please have a seat. Corey's got at least some of it out of her system, although she's looking at Remi like, I want to say something. I want to say
Remi
something.
eats the
I want
cake
to say something."
immediately.
So we understand that you're going to be traveling through Egref and into the mining consortium tunnels after an probably ancient blue dragon. I've already had the. I'm sure you will be careful. Particularly. And Amel's just Corey. Which point Alice is just, we have actually an Ormus gift for you, Ree. And giving her the look of distract them for fuck's sake. That would be the locket.
Oh yeah. Remi fumbles to dig that out of a belt pouch and steps up to her mother. And pushes that into her hand.
Unwraps it. Looking like, I suppose I partially understand why you were part of why you were spending so long in the jeweler. Corey. Just open the box, Corey. Opens the. And what's inside is a rather pretty locket with just a simple oval locket with a starburst pattern in it. When she opens it, there's a sort of little silent image of Alice and Remi sort of as much cheek to cheek as you can be when Remi's so much shorter. And Alice is, Remi is more looking at Alice than forward, and the smile is kind of adorable, and she's just a certain amount of no. You are going to let us host the wedding for Corey!
Oh my god, mother.
Sorry, that was a particularly poor self-control roll on Corey's
Garvin's got his hands over his face, and then like just after a moment or two, just reaches out, grabs a cake, and kind of.
It was like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
In tea.
Of course, I'll take that as maybe. But this is wonderful. Thank you. Is that in or out of character? Because I could see it being both. Brian.
Oh, that's 100% in character and out.
Yes, because this is a side of Remi that he never saw in the company.
Oh, I mean, if it would make Remi feel any better, Barnabas's parents would be just as embarrassing, but they're several dimensions away, so it's all good.
No, he just has the hearth hearts now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Hazel has this look of, I'm afraid to even mention mention that clerics are allowed to officiate ceremonies. You're just sort of like stare, just trying to concentrate on your tea and not
Although,
say
funnily
anything.
enough, even with Amel going, Corey says, turns around again. Or will you be handling any ceremonial bits and pieces? Looking at Hazel.
Mother.
I'll say it's just a...
Oh, Hazel.
Just
Poor
my
Remi.
eyes are the size of dinner plates and just panic evident on my face.
Remi stares at Hazel.
If Ava's not in their line of sight, she's gonna Hazel.
But
I have no response. Panic. Locked in panic.
and that's probably
Sort of with, like,
Hazel
with the
choking on
tea.
it, choking on it when that question gets asked. And Alice is just.
And I'm just staring straight ahead, just expression. Like I can't even form words or even go hypersonic anymore. That just blindsided me so hard. I was not ready for that.
Well, rings! And enchanted ones at that, because Remi didn't actually tell them what the enchantments were on those things. I'm just saying there must be a certain amount of intention there. I know that you like to take life one day at a time, but your life is a dangerous thing, and life is short. You seize your opportunities while you can. Alice is just...
Mother.
And Durbin's just got this look on his face like, well, she's got a point, but he's not saying anything because he's also looking at Remi going, I'm taking my cues from that one on this because, damn, I'm not that stupid.
Look, if I'm going to be alright with you going out risking your life on a daily basis, I want to know that you have lived your life to the fullest. And voila, that's got to be the fullest. Gesturing at Alice, who still has her hands over her head like, Christ.
Mother. Not you too.
She embarrasses quite easily for a bot. Usually it's not lovers' parents. You know how you've talked about Ree not bringing anybody home, and you don't know whether that's because there was never anyone to bring home or not, and you're not going to speculate because that would be fucking rude? Well, I've never had anyone to bring people home to, and I've never had anyone to bring home until her. So this is embarrassing as hell, and it's pushing in directions I really don't want it to go anymore, and I am going to go get an actual drink. Pops the wings and gone.
Oh, boy.
Internal gears caught again, broke, and backspun. Brain catastrophic failure.
Amel,
Just
so
staring into space now.
Amel kind of looks at Corey and goes, this is why I told you not to say anything. Well, she's going off to... Corey!
Remi glowers at her mother.
I'm sorry. I want you to be happy. I'm probably a little overzealous about it. I just don't see you often enough to do it in small chunks.
I know.
So it
Mother.
kind of all has to get dumped at once, and I've seen you more in the last few months than I have in the last few years, so I didn't mean to upset your girlfriend.
She'll be okay. It's a lot for her too.
She seems to take things with so much more aplomb than any of the rest of you. Up to and including you, dear.
Mm,
And Amel is like, you see, with people like that, if you can't tell how far you're pushing them until they hit that cliff edge, and then it all comes out at once. When they're burying their faces in their hands, you might want to stop. Please apologize to her when you catch back up with her on my behalf.
All right.
And thank you both for the thought. We do have some gifts which I imagine you'll probably want to open well away from us. Do pack up bits and pieces, but to take with you. But I don't think this tea went particularly well, and that's entirely my fault. If my daughter's willing, I'll have a last hug, and then I'll send you to go about the rest of your days.
Remi gives her a hug.
Amela's just been bundling up various other cakes and sandwiches and the rest of it, and just. Although when he's handing that to Remi and doing the awkward hug thing again, just going, if that was supposed to be you calming your mother down before a blow up happened, that's not how you do it. I'm just saying, that's as much on you.
Remi does not respond.
And then just looks to Barnabas with a smallish armload of parcels and goes, "You seem a strapping gentleman. Would you mind taking these?" And first, that's just, if you like, I've got a bag of holding. Oh, right, yes, forgot about that.
Darn.
Did you want to be carrying things? Remi could give you the cakes.
Yeah, sure. They were delicious. Thank you for having us. He put away a lot, by the way.
Well,
Remi would have quipped
While
about
the
him
sheer-
wanting first dibs under a better mood.
Yes, well, there's the rest of those for later nibbles, but by this point, Corey has taken her hug and is now downstairs and away because she has it has sunk in that she has upset her daughter and now she's going to be away somewhere. But she clearly loves Remi very much. She just doesn't have any setting between off and high. She's like Hazel but worse.
Yeah. I have to wonder how much of that I registered in between the panic.
That's actually probably why part of the panic. It's like, is this how I look from the outside?
Yeah, and sort of I kind of want to introduce her to Mom and Mama, but I can't right now, and oh no. Just sort of the during the crack backspin moment where you see that light bulb go on over her head.
If anyone needs something to carry, you might need to carry young Hazel. Is she responding at all? Hello? Eyes are moving. That's a start.
Come on, Hazel.
Come on, Hazel. And I take her by the hand.
Maybe I'll talk to you in a bit. And I'm just gonna get led away.
As we're just outside the shop, I'm just gonna grab Remi for a sec.
Remi pauses because she's being grabbed.
Not like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
light hand on them.
We know.
Are you sure you want to leave it like this?
It'll be all right. We'll be back in the city soon enough again.
On the way out.
You know that things come up.
Never mind.
Things happen. And also pessimistic. Remember what happened to Gray's Inn? Don't let this be. I mean, it's not, but don't let this be the last exchange you have with them. Even if it is just for the next few months.
Okay. Okay. Very somewhat reluctantly turns back around.
Okay, find Corey in the kitchen, just tidying up the usual. I have been cooking for like ages, and now I am doing the tidy up.
Remi's shuffles up, and, goes for the side hug.
Oop. I hadn't expected to see you back quite this soon.
Well,
You usually need longer than this to cool down.
well, I'm hoping we would be back in the city again soon, but it's hard to predict these things. So,
I know you and I don't. Just to reassure, I know you and I don't always engage on the same level, and thus we strike sparks off each other a little bit. Mostly, thankfully, mostly in terms of sheer embarrassment, and I'm probably never going to stop embarrassing you.
I know.
It's. I watched you grow up. Not very high, but I watched you grow up. And you're happier now than you've been almost ever. I get a little carried away when I see you finally having the happiness I've always wished for you.
Well, I found what I'm looking for
So it would
in
seem it's
more than
just
one way.
it's I'm trying to apologize and explain my viewpoint because I know what you found. And I want you to keep it. For the same reason that these things are difficult to predict for you coming up here. And it's exciting. You've you've always been a very solitary young lady, young woman. To be fair, you've
Mhm.
never been a lady. Not that way, anyhow. But you'll always be my little girl, but maybe you don't have to be that much my little girl forever. It's just a little bit difficult to let go when my little girl all of a sudden goes off with the mercenaries for a few years and then comes back dedicated to Tritherian and then comes back again dedicated to an entirely different celestial being on a number of levels.
Mhm. Yes.
I know, I know.
Things are moving quickly.
I
Very aware things are moving quickly.
And that probably frightens you enough that you don't need me nudging things even faster. I am
Mm,
sorry. I'm more sorry for having agitated your girlfriend, I admit. You can cope with agitation, you just hit things for a while, but no, really do apologize to her on my behalf. I'm used to teasing you.
It's a bigger adjustment for her, but she knows it's a good one. It's just a little bit difficult sometimes.
I did kind of figure that out, but when all I know is that she is the one, as far as I can tell, for my
Mm,
Remi, that's all I really know. I mean, beyond what I hear from Bard Tales, which is that she's uh, brave and brash and takes no shit from anyone, which I suppose is
mm,
technically true, given that I don't think I've had a telling off like that since you first told me that you were going to be a mercenary and there was no way to stop you beyond locking you in the cellar. And even then, you'd probably break the door down.
yeah, I remember that one.
Well, it's good to know that you've both got someone who is a match for you on that. level, I suppose. Look, it's all right. I don't. If you're looking at mending things, there's nothing to mend. You and I have always had this every time you've had to go away. Because I squeeze a little too tight because I don't get to hug often enough. There will never be often enough. You are my
I know.
daughter and I love you.
I love you too.
But I know you have your own life and you have to go your own way. But you had best tell me if you do decide to go that way, because I have ideas for a wedding cake.
All in due
If.
time,
If.
Mother.
I said if. I said if this time. I said if.
Thank you.
However, you have promise rings with enchantments to trace each other. I am allowed to think that that if might be a when. And if you're going to face ancient dragons, and from what I heard from the last spate of ballads, Tiamat herself.
That's jumping ahead
But
quite a bit.
it's still a part of your eventual plans, and I don't think gods wait around for you to come to them. So you can't exactly blame me for thinking that, if I want to see my daughter being... Anyway, no, I'm not going to go into that because that got me in trouble the last time. I tried not to say anything, I really did.
I know, Mom.
Amel's going to grump at me for a week. I suppose I deserve it. Anyway, kisses Remi on the forehead. Off you go. Be safe. Be happy.
I will. Alice and I will write when we have an opportunity to, if we're not going to be back soon.
You two are beyond adorable. And I hope everyone likes the gifts.
They will, I'm sure.
They can open them whenever they like, by the way. I don't imagine that carrying wrapped boxes is the easiest thing in the world.
I'm sure they'll be expecting lots of cookies and not being very patient with waiting for that.
At least I'll get them to open them sooner. Anyway, off you go. Then thinks about it for a minute, rummages around in coin purse and in apron pocket, weirdly, and takes out a couple of gold pieces. Please do buy her a couple of drinks. What I put her through, she deserves them.
I will.
And then kisses Remi on the forehead again, turns around and nudges her towards the door. I will prove I can let you go, damn it.
Bye, Mom.
She's so adorable.
I love her so much.
And so, yeah, you guys have kind of halted briefly because you were absent, or Remi. So Remi does eventually come out, probably still a little red and, well, I don't believe I had to do that. But out she comes.
He just keeps walking
Keeps
forward,
walking.
assuming that people will follow.
Following.
So where is everybody headed? Because you guys have got a train to catch in the morning.
Remi's going to the Bravo's post.
Yeah, try and find out the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Letting myself get led
I'm
by
gonna try to-
clarity.
I'm going to
Still
try to stay out of trouble.
Fully stunned to process much.
Alice is not at the Bravo's post when you guys arrive, so it's mostly just finding space in the somewhat scrunched tap room.
Remi's gonna get back up after 5 or 10 minutes if Alice is not arriving.
Which she isn't, because I did not expect any of this, so and then it did not necessarily occur to me that, yeah, and you guys still don't know exactly what they were talking about in terms of ring enchantment, so you still don't know how easily Remi can find Alice if she wants to.
Remi just... Sam's... I'll be back later. She's
Do you need me to come? Do you need someone to come with you?
no. You have a drink, relax. Don't relax too hard because we're in the morning.
All right.
She's at the door. She has a very convenient ring.
Yes, yes, she does, but we'll handle that in a minute. What are you guys doing meantime?
Just quietly having a drink.
Mhm.
Got carted along by Clarity once I sit down, going, I need to introduce the press winds to Mom and Mama.
Later.
I think that level of mothering would cause a familial singularity.
Yeah, that's a lot of mom
Yeah.
and space.
I mean, I'm not necessarily a bad thing. I just, wow.
Froseth is sort of. It might be that the Hearth Hearts could teach Corey Crestwin how to temper the mom.
Mm.
A very good point.
That's not a bad thought.
Yes.
I think that's
That's a good
actually
idea.
what Hazel was thinking of. She just doesn't have the words to say it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because honestly, Corey reminds me a little more than what would happen if you crossed Twilly and Hazel.
Accurate. Yeah, that hit me like all of Kreia Bendis at once when we were sitting there.
But to take your mind off it for a little while, we have gifts. And rummages into the bag of holding. And they're mid-sized boxes, kind of coffee mug-ish size. There seems to be one for everybody, so one sits in front of Clarity, one sits in front of Ava, one sits in front of Darvin. They're all identical boxes, basically. One in front of Barnabas, so they've picked that one up. One in front of Hazel. There's first Seth gets one, and I'll. The only ones that are different size are the ones for Remi and Alice. They've clearly got something entirely different, and so, who wants to open them first?
Clarity only lets go of Hazel's hand when she starts opening.
What you each will find in your boxes is tin mugs, personalized, your name written on them, and what they've gathered to be your favorite colors, and something that basically leans to your effective class. Like Hazel's got a Palor Sunburst, and Barnabas has got a Sword and Shield on his. Darvin has got music notes along the top. Ava's got bow and arrow, and Clarity's just got magic sparkles along the rim.
Happy squeaking. Not
And
hypersonic.
Inside bags of ginger snaps.
Ooh.
Very happy squeaking.
Darvin's teared up just a little, but yeah.
It feels a bit bad that they didn't really get them.
Well, at least Remi and Alice, I thought to get them something, but yeah, you know, it's they're anybody who is a part of their Remi's life is going to basically be included. But yeah, these are good solid tin kind of mugs that are going to take well to adventuring. But also ginger snaps because they're bakers, so hey.
Gotta have some bakery.
So yeah, Remi's track and trace, as it were, winds up actually up at one of the airship docking towers. It's just Alice just sort of sitting, looking out over the coastline. Not going to do anything, pretty obviously. It's just a good view.
Remi pauses several feet away and then clears her throat and waves.
Yeah, I kind of figured. It's fine. I just wanted the view.
Okay. Sits down beside her.
It's fine. I just needed some chill.
Well, Mom wanted you to know that she's very sorry, regardless, for getting a little too ahead of herself.
It's not like I don't get it, but I'd kind of been hoping that maybe there'd be a little bit more chill, or that, like you said, you'd try to shut it down before it got too stupid. I held out as long as I could, but come on, it got stupid.
Things are going very fast for her, too, so.
I know, but all I'm saying is there's got to be more than just, oh my God's mother.
I'll try next time.
It's fine. You're not that way demonstrative. You don't use words that way. We may have to teach you one of these days, but I'm the one who uses words that way. Maybe that's why we match up so well.
One of many reasons.
Yeah, but I'm focusing on that one for the time being because I got her to shut up. Leans a little on Remi's shoulder. It's like, I mean, your mother, damn!
Yeah, can be like that with her.
At least I
Fine.
know. At least I know she accepts me.
Exactly.
If she didn't, she'd be chasing me out of the house with a broom or a sword.
Oh God.
If
That
if if she
is
if she didn't
a thought.
if she didn't approve of somebody for you, you actually no. With your mother, it'd probably be worse. Ever notice the number of times she says, I've been doing some research?
Hmm.
If your mother was gonna do anything, she'd be a fucking wizard.
Oh God. That is a thought.
Yeah, you gotta admit, there's gotta be some reasonable spell components in a bakery.
That is very true.
Come on, we gotta have a laugh sometimes. It may be haha only serious, but it's although I guess very little can beat the absurdity of your mother chasing out anybody who would be someone you would consider a suitor with a broom.
A broom or something heavier.
Fireplay poker, sword,
Rolling pin.
chair.
Chair. Definitely chair.
You come by it honestly, gotta give you that. Anyway, you did not have to chase after me. I am fine. I am just getting the view.
I know, but I did
I
have
know.
to.
I know. I'm just saying, sometimes, I see where you get it from. You're just quieter about it. When Crest wins love, they do it unapologetically and so completely that you're just like, okay, wow. It's fine. I'm teasing you. I make a
know.
good point, which is why you're
Yes,
uncomfortable right now.
Yes, I know.
But I don't mind really. I'm just saying, in case you felt obligated. Yeah, if I really minded, you'd know. You've seen how you'd know. And you're not going back until I do, are you?
Nope. We can stay here as long as you like.
I'm not having you sit up here for the next little while. Besides, it would involve leaving them alone. And the last time we did that, there were geese.
I did tell them to take it easy, considering we have to get up tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but
And also,
that's
there
drunk.
are
But that's not geese. Whoever did the geese sober.
there is also early RLMS presence. So
Oh crap. Yeah, okay. It's been that kind of day. Come on. And does actually use the ladder this time, so. She could use the 10-minute wings, but then she'd be glowing all the way through market, and as she puts it when she's on the ground and walking back with you. We've had enough people staring, and I'm pretty sure that some of the rumors your parents were hearing were your declaration in Market Square. It just it holds up the hand with the ring. Concrete evidence, you know?
well, at least rumors are different from a violation of store clerk customer privacy. She says very facetiously.
I think that's facetiously?
Facetious.
Yeah,
I
it's
cannot
facetiously.
Facetiously.
It's one of those.
He is clearly joking.
Yeah, it's one of those really words where you're like, if you don't get your mouth around it right, it comes out all wrong. I hate that one. I use it a lot, but it's a pain in the ass to try to say.
It's also one that you don't know how it's pronounced until someone actually says it in front of you,
Mhm.
and you probably mispronounce it for the rest of your life if no one ever does.
I have like 4 of those. God for this, otherwise I'd never have those right.
Mhm. She very clearly jokes about
Yeah.
store clerk customer privacy.
Yeah, well, we're going to be entertainment for this entire continent for a very long time. And it's not like jewelry shop runners or clerics. Not all of them, anyway.
Fortunately.
I just don't believe that Ava and Darvin both also either heard about it, contributed to it, or both.
Don't know what Darvin got up to.
But he clearly knew. You saw the face.
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
If we even bother, let's face it, there's very little more that could get weird about that one. I'm just glad, she says as she opens up the door for the Bravos boast, that you still think that this bullshit is worth it. Nudges her inside.
Remi hurries inside.
Hey guys.
I am still happy squeaking with the mug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remi immediately opens her present.
She has a similar mug, but she does also have warm knitted sweater.
Oh,
It's
boy.
actually kind of awkward, and it's kind of. It was an attempt
wow.
at Tritherian's Triskelion, which was apparently started before the Paler thing happened, but it also kind of awkward, so it more looks like a dowsing rod gone very, very wrong. Because your mother cannot knit.
Yeah, that's why Darvin's looking at it like, oh wow.
I am kind of afraid to open mine.
Darvin just looks at Remi and goes, well, I can tell it was made with love. And just leaves it at that.
And she does open hers, and yeah, it's also a mug, also sweater, which is the gaudiest damn shade of yellow gold. Thankfully has no actual design on it, and was apparently made for somebody approximately Barnabas's size.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, that was made with a whole lot of love.
okay, I have a new nightshirt. Which is actually largely unnecessary, but okay.
The thought that counts.
That's the thing, though. Somebody makes you something, you have to wear it the next time you see them.
Well, I don't know about that.
It does actually pull on the jumper, and it does tilt off one shoulder and comes down to about her knees. And it's a dress, basically. You know, cinch it at the waist, maybe? I don't know. Look, when things come your way, you use them. This is how I do. I'm just glad there aren't any designs on it. But hey, mug. Cookies.
Remi grabs a cookie.
Just sticks one in the flitty bag, and you just see the little green hand. Scritch, scritch, scritch.
God, that reminds me of Erie. When I go to finish it, wham! And I'm like, I had a mouse.
So yeah, early night, train tomorrow, and then we experiment with the whole clubbing thing, and we get to take Barnabas to Harley Surf and Turf.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should introduce him to the Adventurers Abomination.
Yeah, we are doing that. Also,
Nothing again.
Yeah, we're
The what
saying
now?
introduce it to Barnabas. Darvin mixed. Basically, Harley Surf and Turf is a beef and seafood kind of restaurant. Great food. Fairly extensive ice cream menu. In and among the dessert menu, very extensive on the flavors. They've got some really interesting flavors in Egriff, and Darvin put together something that was like
Cake batter ice cream, cotton candy ice cream, and I'm blanking on the third, but yes. It was another weird off-the-wall flavor like the other two, but I can't replace it anymore.
Yeah.
Might have even been popcorn. I can't recall.
No, it was nothing quite that bad. But there was also boysenberry syrup,
Yes,
butterscotch syrup,
Yep.
All manner of syrups and sprinkles, and
Yep.
this
it was
unholy mix of flavors.
I got it with
Really
the
was.
works.
And
All right.
the thing was that when some bites were fine because it was flavors that went together, and some bites weren't so fine because they were flavors that didn't go very well together, and he ate it too fast. So on top of the ice cream headache, he was not well afterwards.
It tried to escape.
No, it escaped.
It escaped, but I made it to the restroom. I did make it to the restroom. Only just, but I made it.
And effectively, they then decided to put it on the menu as a dare. If you can finish it, your meal is free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got
I mean, if you want to try it, it's free, but I would recommend it.
Now,
He's doing it just for the dare now.
I mean, if anybody could, you probably could manage it.
Yep.
now
I'm tempted
dessert,
to,
do they
but I
expect me
can.
to eat it first or after?
After.
At the end.
I did it after,
Okay.
so I'm assuming
Yeah.
they want that mimicked.
Okay.
And truthfully, I probably could have managed it had I not eaten it so damn fast. But it was also really tasty. But yeah,
Hazel took a bite of it, and the look on her face. And to be fair, some of the looks on some of your face, some bites, means
True.
that you had to be really careful about the order in which you ate the thing in. Because
Yeah.
apparently boysenberry and butterscotch do not mix well with cake batter.
They don't.
that's
They
fair.
very much do
That's
not.
fair. That's fair. They didn't.
And if it were me, I would probably end up obliged to add pulling out baggie of burn lichen.
Oh God!
Dessert?
Actually, I could see that. Because didn't one place have like slightly spicy chocolate?
Yeah, well, that was probably toothsome, but what I could see her adding that to Death by Chocolate. I could not see her adding that to the Adventurer's Abomination.
Oh, true. There wasn't quite enough chocolate overall for that to really work.
There wasn't really any. That was one of the few things you didn't pick.
No. Well, not ice cream. No, there was some fudge involved on the top, but
There
no,
still
you're right.
is not enough chocolate.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah, but
Enough chocolate would be the amount that Barnabas got.
anyway, yeah. Point is that she could add a little bit of the burn lichen to that Death by Chocolate thing, but probably not to boysenberry, cotton candy, birthday cake batter.
Yeah, whatever.
And
All
so I'm
else.
staying away from that because
You do not have to add it to everything. You know it's fairly rare, and we won't be going up north for a while.
yeah, I know. I switched topics a little bit, avoiding the abomination in general because I have terrible luck with challenges of that nature.
Blueberry
The blueberry
pies.
pie.
I was just thinking,
Exactly.
wasn't there blueberry?
There was the blueberry pie
Just kind
incident.
of glances. Just kind
There
of
were
glance.
several blueberry pie incidents, and I wasn't the only one subject to them.
I'm about to say, Darwin just kind of glances from Hazel to Clarity and back again.
Yeah, we did hear that about that one, Clarity.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've had enough of my food escaping after a food challenge, so pass.
Well, that's why we're thinking maybe Barnabas.
I think he's the only
Wait.
one who would live.
Darvin survived. He didn't finish it.
No.
I'd probably survive, but I value my taste buds. You wouldn't
Yeah.
know it from the spice level of my food, but I do. And Proceth is just like, no.
Non-statement. Just
I'll stick to conventional flavors.
we'll
To
come up
normal food.
You've had some fairly unconventional things. A little bit unconventional you seem fine with, Ava, but it's just too much
Yeah.
conventional blended too weird. So you really think you're gonna do this, Barnabas?
Yeah, I do believe so. It sounds interesting.
She just cracks.
It certainly isn't that.
Just cracks her knuckles.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah.
Darvin, but this sequel ballad's on the line.
Oh no.
You're assuming there's going to be anything interesting enough about it to be a ballad. No one's really going to care if I just eat it and it's fine.
Yes, they are. If I start talking about it,
You know,
They are.
we're bards. We can make
It's
anything fabulous.
it's a triumph, particularly when you set it against what he did.
Exactly.
There's a reason it's called the abomination.
Wasn't it like a lot of
Well, it
of
was
ice
three
cream as
It was
well?
3 scoops of ice cream and enough toppings to make it about the size of his head. You're muted.
Remember, I got it with the works.
Mhm.
I literally asked
He
them
just-
to top it with everything.
Pretty
Okay.
much, yeah. And so that's actually going to be on the menu as a thing now. Yeah, so okay. And you know, maybe there'll even be a plaque with people who have successfully managed to do the thing.
Like a wall of fame. or
Your
Like,
name,
se-
your name
yeah.
can live on this plane even when you return home. Not for defeating a great 5-headed dragon goddess, but for finishing a 3-scoop ice cream dessert from hell. Not literally from hell,
God.
because that'd be yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I don't want that ice cream.
That would involve the club that clearly has issues.
I don't know, it sounds like they're more into blood than, like, soul food.
Wham! Thankfully, not the hand holding the mug, just the empty hand. Just wham!
To be fair, you do crunch a gingerbread cookie against your forehead.
Wow.
And
Ow.
crumbs down.
Ah. Oops.
Right, come on guys, big day tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yes.
And on that note, we will call it, and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for a trip to Egref and see if Furseth does want to try to sneak out of trip to one of Egref's illustrious nightclubs.
Mm.
Later, guys.